Hello, everyone. My name is Brennan Marr. That noise you're hearing is my ventilator. Welcome to Page Turners They Were Not, my Star Wars podcast. To my review of the 6th episode of Skeleton Crew called Zero Friends Again. There's a lot going on here, so I just want to talk about what stood out to me. This is an episode that is not necessarily heavy on plot. Not on the plot. It's heavier on the story. And there's a difference, I think, between plot and story. In many ways, this is a character episode, where it's really about developing the characters more. So let's talk really quick about Jod Nanowood. Well, now that he's got all that treasure, he's actually enthusiastic about getting back to his pirate crew. Of course, they're not too happy with him, because Pocket turned him in. And she says, as so many of these characters would say, she says, no hard feelings, Jod. That turns him over to the pirates. And I like that we get this moment on the pirate ship where Brutus is basically holding a trial on Jod. But it looks like some of the crew is still sympathetic to Jod, and one of the crew members says that according to pirate law, he has the right to say a few words in his own defense. And he sort of pulls a Jack Sparrow by telling them that there is treasure to be found on Adatin. He actually reminds them of an old pirate shanty, a song that talks about Tac Renaud plundering Adatin. And now that the coordinates to Adatin are known, KB knows them and so does Jod. Both groups know how to get to Adatin. And so Jod pleads his case, saying, I found the big score. If you guys join with me, like it used to be, I'll take you to it. Well, Brutus decides, okay, but instead of letting Jod go, he's a prisoner. And Brutus decides that they're going to go to Adatin, and if Jod is wrong, they're going to throw him out the airlock. I like the fact that this feels very Pirates of the Caribbean. This is something that Jack Sparrow would do. And Jod, as we know, was their former captain, and it looks like there are a few members of the crew who still like Judd. And maybe there's going to be a mutiny of some kind, I don't know. But we get back to the kids, and they have to get up to the top of Skull Mountain. But there's a disagreement about how to do it. And the group splits up. Thurn goes with Neil, and KB goes with Wynn. Wynn saves KB's life when her cybernetic implants start to fail. He has to build a new piece to put into her brain, basically. Now, I've been saying from the beginning that I would like to see more of KB. What's her story? And we got it this time. It would seem to me that she had an accident and was paralyzed, I think. And the cybernetic implants are the only things that allow her to move. And so Wynn is able to fix that, and it's cute because KB calls him a Jedi. She says, "Thanks, Jedi." And she actually smiles, which is unusual for KB because to this point she's been very stoic in her expressions. And there had been an argument between Thurn and KB. They're best friends. But KB reveals to Wynn that Thurn made the mistake of thinking that KB could do everything that she could. Thurn not really acknowledging that KB is different and that KB is limited. Now, Wynn makes a good point. He says, well, isn't it a good thing that she didn't care about what made you different? The KB says, but I am different. And I think I can relate. It's a tricky tightrope to walk. The idea of I am different because of my physical limitations. But in many ways, I don't want to be treated differently. But it would be a lie to say that I'm not any different, because I am. So it's kind of a fine... There's a fine line there, and I think this episode points that out. But now we know what's up with KB. And I think that this is a really nice touch. You have Thurn and Neil dealing with the same problem. He's got short arms and legs. She has long arms and legs. So as they're climbing up the side of the mountain, Neil isn't able to do what Thurn can do. And at first, Thurn is annoyed. But then she grabs a rope and ties it to Neil. And helps him be able to climb. So I like that the stories are parallel to each other. without recognizing that we're different. They're all different from each other. And they can't do the same things that each other does. And I think this is bringing them closer as a team. Lynn and KV follow these weird-looking little crabs. They're like hermit crabs with garbage on them. It's really funny and very, I don't know why it reminded me of the Wizard of Oz. But every time that Lynn or KV says something, all these hermit crabs start repeating it. Which I thought was funny, and then of course this group of crabs leads them to a gigantic crowd. And it seems like they want to make the kids dinner. But thankfully KD or Neil and Fern are able to hijack one of these little robotic lifters, other ships or whatever, because the Onyx Cinder is being taken off the platform at the resort and dumped into this garbage pile. Fern and Neil are able to rescue Lynn and KD, and the group is reunited. They crash their little hover ship and find the Onyx Cinder in the garbage pit, about to be devoured by this garbage mashing robot. This big old garbage masher machine. Now this is really cool. They get on the Onyx Cinder and are unable to get lift off in time before this giant machine smashes them to pieces. And then remember that button? The button that SN33 said never touch that? They hit it. And it blows off the outer shell of the ship. And it is revealed that underneath it, the Onyx Cinder is this beautiful looking ship, and the outer shell was just there and probably served no purpose. Now, why is that? Why did SN33 say never touch that button? Well, my theory is that the Onyx Cinder would be easily recognized. So Captain Renaud probably covered it with an ugly outer shell so that nobody would suspect that it was the real Onyx Cinder. I remember when John first saw the Onyx Cinder, he was repulsed by how ugly it was. He didn't know that it was the Onyx Cinder. And so I think Captain Renaud didn't want anyone to be able to identify his ship. So probably covered it with that shell and told SN33 Don't let anyone touch it. That's what I think it was. So he could camouflage the onyx cinder so that nobody would suspect. We shall find out soon enough. But now it looks like both the pirates and the kids are headed to Manhattan. Now that they have the coordinates. What's going to happen there? I have no idea. And I like that I had no idea. The last thing I wanted to point out, and I thought this is actually quite brilliant. So you have Skull Mountain. At the top of Skull Mountain is a luxury spa and resort. Underneath it is stolen pirate treasure. And at the very bottom, at the base of the mountain, garbage. In fact, it would seem to me that they are the people at the spa have an out of sight, out of mind mentality. They dump the garbage off the side, have it carried down, and they just leave it there and forget about it. So I think there is a certain societal critique. You have this pristine resort at the top of the mountain. On top of dishonesty, the treasure which Captain Renaud probably stole from many, many worlds. It's like the idea of the high and mighty are built on the back of dishonesty. The idea that they build this pristine society on top of somebody else's treasure. And then at the very bottom, the garbage that they throw away. Out of sight, out of mind. Yet again, the upper class being built on the back of garbage. Being built on the back of throwing their filth away. And many of us further down the ladder get that garbage piled on top of us. Physically and metaphorically. So basically what it is a critique of society. Garbage, stolen treasure, and then a pristine resort at the top. Let me just mention really quick that this episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Ron Howard's daughter is an actress and a director. And I think she did a good job here. And I think that this episode manages to explore a lot of what Star Wars is about. And the goofiness of the hermit crowds feels definitely right up Bryce's alley. Anyhow, she did a good job there, and so I wanted to mention that. So those are my thoughts on episode 6 of Skeleton Crew. 0 friends again. My name is Brennan Lar, that noise you hear is my ventilator. Thank you for tuning in to Page Turners They Were Not, my Star Wars podcast. May the Force be with you.